But when you look at agriculture, kung titignan ninyo ang ating mga magsasaka sa buong Pilipinas, wala namang milyonaryo na magsasaka. Dahil napakahirap na hanap buhay ang magsaka. At ang ating, the profit margins, for example, for palay, the profit margin, and maliit lang talaga ang kita. Even what they call high-value crops, it's still you do not make money as much as we think that they should. So, immediately, I said, what would be the best and easiest and quickest way to increase the livelihood potential of the Ilocanos? And immediately what came to me was tourism. Dahil tourism talaga, madali lang naman kasi talagang tourism at mabilis gawin. Ang gagawin nyo lamang, ayusin nyo yung mga magandang lugar. And you know, I have been going to Ilocos Norte since I was a child. We spent our summers there, although nakatira kami dito sa Maynila. And I knew that the province had many, many beautiful places and many, many interesting, the history, the culture of the Ilocano is very, very interesting. We claim to be the only part, because as I came from the south, of the Philippines that had very little impact from the Spanish time and the American time and even during the war. At nasasabi natin, yung mga pinupuntahan ninyo, especially in the very rural areas, is the same lifestyle that you could have seen maybe 200, 300 years ago. And that's why, because our culture is very strong, our culture is very profound. And I thought that gives us immediately an advantage. So, gumawa kami ng tourism. Because if you want to have a good tourism experience, a good experience in your visit, it has to be seamless. Kagaya bakasyon nga nila ito eh. They don't want to be having to worry about anything. They want to just have their vacation, enjoy themselves, go to the interesting places, play in a casino, eat in a nice restaurant, with the. So that was what we were trying to do. These have been the underpinnings of our tourism program in Ilocos Norte. As a matter of fact, despite the misfortune that we suffered with the calamities in the last year, of course we all know about Bohol, Zamboanga, and Yolanda in Region A. So, ang nangyari last Christmas, ang mga turista, domestic tourists, did not go south. They all went north. So, last Christmas was the biggest. In fact, tumawag sa akin ang aking kapatid, December 28, sabi niya po, you have to help me na ubus ang pagkain sa probinsya. We have to find, we ran out of food because we did not expect that many people. Now, it is unfortunate that this is on the back of the tragedy and the misfortune that happened in Yolanda, but that is what happens. That is the way tourism works. Again, people who do not want to see tragedy, they do not want to see destruction. They just want to have a vacation with their children, with their families, and wala silang problema, and it's pleasant, and they get to do what they want, etc., etc. So last Christmas they came all to Ilocos Norte, and I think we did reach the million mark last Christmas. We did not expect it, and as I said, it is terrible that it had to happen, and that Yolanda and the other tragedies had to happen for that to happen. But again, it is just indicative of how the tourism industry is a very fickle, very volatile industry. And you have to keep on thinking of new ways to keep it interesting. But what most people do not see, you see the flashy stuff, the events, the TV, the movies, all of this. What we must understand is that it takes a lot, again, of infrastructure, in terms of physical infrastructure, in terms of framework that the government has put together, so that all of the little elements that make it a successful tourism program are attended to. And you have to be very clear about what the role of government is and what the role of the private sector is. Both are equally important. You cannot do it by the government, you cannot do it just by the private sector. That's why you need a grand plan. Not only a physical grand plan, but also a timetable as to what your markets are, who do you go to, how do you attend to those markets, how do you make sure that those markets are you are understood by you, so that you can adjust and you can design your program to be attractive to those markets. And so it is from what began as I said, the simplest and easiest program and quickest program. It turns out like anything else, the more you study it, the less you know. So we have slowly been learning, but I believe that there have been some missteps along the way, but right now I can say that we have generally been moving in the right direction because of the attention to detail, because of you have to have a very open mind. Do not think you know what the tourist wants. That's a common mistake. That's a common mistake that people do. They'll want to go here. You don't know that. You have to ask them, what would you like to do? What did you find interesting? This is interesting, that's not interesting. It's not for you to tell. It is for your guests, your visitors to tell you. So, if having attended to all of those things, having made that adjustment in your attitude and in your thinking, then we have moved in the right, we are starting to move in the right direction. And although we have lost the Chinese, as I told you, dahil na nagka-problema dun sa yung sa binaril yung mga taga Hong Kong in Kirinong guns, and they boycotted us. They basically boycotted us. Despite that, the international tourists are also beginning to return because of the word of mouth from the Pinoys. Because the mga tiga-labas, syempre may kaibigan naman silang Pilipino, saan tayo pupunta? Saan pa maganda dyan? Sasabihin na, I just came from Ilocos, it's nice. So that's so slowly the Australians are coming. Believe it or not, the Thais. Meron na kami mga tiga-Thailand, but you know they have, for me, the best tourism program in the world. But still, we're able to attract them. So these are the different elements that you have to put together. It is in principle, it is in theory quite simple, but the actual implementation of the program, it can be a little bit subtle. You have to have a very open mind. You have to be very imaginative, and you have to remember that tourism is a service industry, and so the customer is always right. You have to put on. We are lucky. Filipinos are kind and friendly and hospitable. So, job done. That's the thing. We don't have to teach people how to be polite. We don't have to teach our own people how to be friendly, how to be hospitable, how to smile. Madali, natabad sa Pilipino yun. So that is a huge advantage. But beyond that, all the little bits and pieces that I talked about during this talk, those have to be attended to, and it is not a fly, but it cannot be. If you want it to be a true industry, you cannot approach it by just saying what ideas you have in your head, talking to your children, talking to your relatives, your friends. This would be nice. No, you have to be very professional about it. It is a major industry. There is a science to it. You have to learn that science. Or if it is beyond you, you have to bring somebody who truly understands how this works. You have to bring lots of people who truly understand how it works. And you have to, then you can adjust it to what you have, what are the assets you have, and what you think will possibly be a success for your